Welcome. This is an overview of the Canvas course site for our course in criminal law. As you enter the site, you'll come onto the home page. In all likelihood, this is where you will land. You will see at the top there will be any announcements that I have shared with you, and also excuse me, my name and an introduction to Canvas if you're uncertain of how to utilize the Canvas learning management system. You can quick access course announcements, which you've already got here. The learning modules is where most all of our, really all of our material are, with the exception of the syllabus. Therefore, when you land, you may be looking at the syllabus, and if so, you click on syllabus. The combined syllabus and course schedule is here. The course schedule only is here. This will always give you a place to find information if you have not printed out a copy of the course schedule. I strongly encourage you to do so that you can record any due dates, and there are many due dates in this class. Record it in whatever your organizational or calendar system is, whether it's digital, on paper, excuse me, on your phone, whatever it happens to be. So the syllabus, as I said, is here. If you're just looking for updated announcements, you can go directly to announcements by clicking here. I'm going to change to student mode. I apologize. Okay. The people button will give you information about who else is in the class, but also who's in your group, what group you are in, and who your other group members are. Most of all of our work will be done in the modules, which I'll get to in a moment. Exams in this class will be available on the quiz link, and there will be instructions in each exam reminding you of where to find that. You only have one discussion post, which is part of your homework, and that is described to you in the homework assignment itself. Your grades in this class can always be accessed by clicking on grades. And finally, Zoom is one way to get to the Zoom class. If you want to, you can certainly click on Zoom, and that will give you two options to join the criminal law class. Or if you're wanting to meet with me for office hours, then you just click on the office hour button. You will see we're now going to go to modules. The first module is actually the Zoom meetings. So you can either click on Zoom from the left-hand navigation bar or from the Zoom class meeting. If you either way, you will be asked for a passcode or a password, and that is noted here and also here, and you will need that to join each class meeting. Likewise, there is a separate passcode or excuse me, password or passcode, and the password or passcode for office hours is this information, which is here. It is also here as well. Okay, so now we will turn to the rest of the modules and focus on the layout there, the sequence. There is a standard format that I use. At the very top of the screen, once this reloads, what you will see is as I just showed you, Zoom. Starting the class, the materials to review are here. Videos, PowerPoints to support that video, a video on the introduction to the course itself. a video on the course syllabus, course expectations and requirements, the first 18 pages. Excuse me, course expectation and the course schedule, the remaining part of that document. This Canvas orientation will be posted there as well. Questions about where to prepare, how to find how to prepare, and how to submit homework. I'm going to cover that right now. Your homework, you will have homework due in virtually every class. The homework that is due is in the homework section of each chapter module. So chapter 1 is Introduction to Criminal Law. There's a homework section. In each homework assignment that is due in chapter 1 is listed there. To prepare that homework, you click on the link. Follow all of the requirements for the homework, which are that it must be word processed, your name and the homework number at the top of the page. If you are using a worksheet according to the instructions, then that information will be on the worksheet itself. Present your homework in question and answer format. Check your spelling, grammar, and punctuation by proofreading and running it through Grammarly, or at least through the spelling and grammar check on your Word program. Okay, make sure you do follow the instructions, complete the assignment according to the instructions. As I mentioned, proofread. If you are linking to your homework through following these directions, which is you're finding the homework in the chapter that it's due, chapters 1 through 10, you're clicking on it, you're completing it. When you are finished, you will see in the top right hand column a Submit Assignment button. You're going to click on that. A file upload page will open. You're going to choose File, and then you will go to your desktop or your thumb drive or whatever it is you're using to store your completed work on. Choose it and submit it, and you're done. Likewise, there are course and class connection activities. Those are, again, organized by which chapter they are due in. Those course and class activities, connection activities, are done the same way. You click on the activity, follow the instructions, complete the activity, proofread it, click on the Submit button, choose your Word document or your PDF, whichever you are using, click Submit, and there you go. And finally, the remaining items that you will be required to submit for grading are called graded case exercises. There are 4 sets of those. They again will be found in the chapter module in which they are due. Written explanation of the course description, learning outcomes, the cautionary warning, and central questions that we're going to be covering in this class are here. Course resources. There is a glossary that you are, we're all going to be working with that glossary and using the description and definitions as they are found in the textbook and in the glossary. There are other course resources that we'll be using. In Chapter 1, we'll look at the U.S. Constitution and Amendments. We'll also look at jury instructions at a variety of points along the way. A little bit in Chapter 1, more so in Chapter 2, and then throughout. The Model Penal Code in its entirety is available to you here. Remember, the Model Penal Code is not law. It is a resource. It is a model example of what a state or the federal government could choose, for example, to determine what constitutes the crime of arson and how that arson might be punished. Some states choose to adopt significant portions of the model penal code. Other states select a few, and I'll talk more about that as we reach each of those issues moving forward. There are a host of campus resources that are available for you. They are embedded in the textbook, but they are also listed here. And I always encourage students to take advantage of the resources that can help them. Why make our job harder than it needs to be? So those are the campus resources. I'll come back and I will do a separate description, both in class and video, on case exercises and how they work and where to find them. From that, if you are saying, wow, that's a lot of stuff before I even get to Chapter 1, that is true. And so if you want to close these down so that you can more quickly find and get to Chapter 1, or whatever chapter we're working on, if you click in the modules title and click on the downward facing caret, you'll see that they collapse, which makes it much easier to find Chapter 1. Every chapter is organized in the same fashion. There's a section in each chapter called Getting Started, which will identify for you what our learning outcomes are for the chapter. There will be a checklist. The checklist will tell you everything that is due in Chapter 1. This is identical to the information which is in the course schedule. There's nothing new or different here. It's a duplicate. So if you are comfortable using the course schedule, by all means use the course schedule. If you need a separate, broken out chapter by chapter, and you find it helpful because then you can check each thing as you go along, so be it. Use the checklist, the chapter checklist. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when we go through excuse me, when we go through some of the assignments. Okay. All right. So, and there is a brief introduction to the chapter that you can listen to. Generally, that is a audio, and the second section, I'm calling these sections. The second section of each chapter is entitled Readings and Videos. The first thing there always will be the textbook chapter that we're on. So Chapter 1, textbook material is located in the Chapter 1 module, and it is accessible to you in this way. A nice feature in the textbook is if you many students, and I find it helpful to be able to just click on a part in the table of contents to bring me to the place in the chapter that I want to go. This first chapter is the longest chapter by far in the textbook. A note that in order to actually utilize the hyperlink function, the highlighting is fine, but getting there requires that you actually download. So if you do decide that you need to use the hyperlink function, you need to download the chapter rather than just view it on the screen in Canvas, and then you will be able to do that. Therefore, as you might begin to see, if you need to be navigating to the glossary during class, or as you're doing assignments, or to other places in the Canvas website in the section that we're working on, it's easier, much easier, if you have a paper copy of the chapter excuse me, of the chapter itself, because navigating between multiple documents online is overwhelming for the strongest readers, the most well organized, and the sharpest focused people. So I do recommend that you have the chapter printed out and available to read and make notes on as you access other materials in each chapter. The readings and video section of each chapter will start, as I said, excuse me, with the textbook. Any required reading will be provided and linked here. It is also linked in the course schedule. Videos that you are required to read, which are listed again in the course schedule and also hyperlinked there, but available to access through each chapter module in which they are assigned. Excuse me. The next section is in each chapter is homework. The homework must be word processed with your name and homework number at the top. Some homework, or certainly when we start doing the case exercises, you'll have worksheets which you will use to prepare the homework. Otherwise, for non-worksheet homework, which is most everything in Chapter 1, you excuse me, you need to present to access and prepare and submit a homework assignment. You click on the homework assignment in the homework section of the chapter in which it's due. When you click on it, the homework assignment will open. It explains to you what you need to do. You're going to open a Word document, and you need to put it in question and answer format. So copy, cut, and paste. Open a Word document, prepare your answers. Then you keep this screen open if you wish. When you click on the Submit Assignment, it will prompt you to choose the document or the file which you should save on a thumb drive or on your hard drive or someplace that you can retrieve it in case there's a problem with this going through. Once you choose your file, you click Assignment, and in it goes to Canvas, and I get notified and I grade those generally within 48 hours. So there are many homework assignments in each chapter. The process is the same for each. In Chapter 1, there are a number of course and class connection activities. For example, the class survey, the course contract, all of these are course and class connection activities. The process is the same as homework. You click on the activity that you're being graded on, follow the directions, open it, complete the survey, click on Submit Assignment. The screen will come up and you will choose whatever file that you created, whether it's a Word document or a PDF, rich text format. You cannot use anything other than the formats that have been approved. That's Word documents, PDFs, rich text format, JPEGs, but there are Google Notes and other documents are not in a format that can be opened readily on Canvas, and therefore they are prohibited. If you have any questions about that, or anything for that matter, by all means, just let me know. And then finally, any class activity materials that you need. We were going to do Grammarly in class. We did do Grammarly in class, installing it. Hopefully everyone has done that. We will be starting with case exercise 1, and I'll explain how that's going to work in our class on Tuesday, February 11th. And so class activity materials will always come at the end of the chapter. You will see going forward, Chapter 2, the same outline, a learning outcome, a checklist. If I provide it, I will try to provide a brief introductory video introducing you to the chapter. The textbook is here. Required video is here to view. All the homework assignments are here. You will have graded case exercises that are due, which will be posted here as well. And that's the process for navigating the Canvas website. If you have questions or want to meet with me to go over this socially distanced, but with you at a computer screen, and I can certainly help you. I'm willing to do that. It's important that you become confident in how to navigate the course site. There is a lot of information, but there is a standard format, and hopefully I've given you some tips and guidelines on how to make it easier to navigate. Thanks so much for listening.